What up? What up? What up? Welcome to SlangCast Friday night. What's up, Lou?
What's up, Jeff? It's Friday night. It's SlangCast, and yeah, let's get this going.
Oh man, thank God it's Friday. It's been a long week.
Yeah, it has been a long week, man.
Well,
It's
you
been
had
one
you
of
had off
those
a few
weeks.
days, right?
Yeah, but it's been nonstop. Just doing household stuff for the family, keeping busy, and no time for sitting on my butt.
So a lot of news this week in the tech world. I was going to come on Friday here and talk about earbuds, top 5 earbuds, top 5 headphones. We're going to change it up a little bit because a lot of news in the tech world. We had the Microsoft Duo dropped. It's been released. People have it already. I received the Pixel 4 this week, so I've been testing that. I'm going to give my full thoughts on the Note 20 Ultra. We got a lot of Xbox news, two types of Xbox.
Absolutely.
Lou's going to talk about that. We got prices and launch dates for the new Xboxes. So we're going to talk about all of that stuff. Let's just talk about games first. Before we get into the Xbox stuff, you were telling me about a game that just came out, and this brings back a lot of, I guess you call it nostalgia. I call it memories. Just a lot of good memories from playing video games as a kid. Tony Hawk.
Absolutely. Tony Hawk and 2. I guess you want to call it I don't know if you want to call it a remake. I don't know if you want to call it, something else, but that's my cat going through the screen. Uh, okay. So 39.99 on the Xbox store and the PlayStation store. I made the jump. I want those memories back. I love this game. I don't know who played this game and didn't love it at that time. So I took that jump and I purchased it. Okay. The single player, I played a couple of the maps. The warehouse, everybody knows the warehouse is that one level that everybody knows. Um, okay. I had some fun. I played it for a few minutes. I was like, okay, it's fun. Alrighty. Next level. I think I played New York. Messing around with it. I'm like, all right, okay, yeah. Is this it? Is this it? I mean, for a couple ollies, some grinds. I mean, is this it? Is this worth 39.99? I wasn't feeling it was worth the price at that point. Then I jumped to multiplayer. I tried multiplayer, and that's where the fun came in. You're in there with 8 to 10 other people. Um, the rounds they switch the modes from graffiti attack to longest combo, biggest combo, most points, and I actually had fun with the multiplayer. The multiplayer actually wanted me to unlock the rest of the boards, unlock the rest of the outfits. It made me want to keep playing. Is it worth the 39.99? Wait until it's 29.99. I think $40 is a little overpriced, but I mean it was fun. I am enjoying it, but that price is a little steep for this game, I have to say.
It's $40 right now.
$40.
Is it going to come
For
down?
I would say, by holiday season, sure.
Is it the old levels? Is it the old, like,
All
exactly
the
the same game, or is it new?
It's the same game with updated visuals. It feels faster and smoother, so I'm sure they improved the frame rate. The graphics do look better. I will say yes, they do look better.
Well, they better
So
look better.
right, so I'm kind of like, okay, yeah. I mean, they did put a little work into here. I can say they did, but
See,
the
I won't buy it. I
decoration.
won't buy it for $40. It
I
would have
know.
to be because it's just basically the same thing we played as kids. It would have to be $20 for me to buy it. For those that don't know, guys, we're talking about the new Tony Hawk game for Xbox. Is it on Xbox and PlayStation?
It is on both, yes.
So if you played Tony Hawk growing up, it was a big it was a big game back in the day. Like, it was one of the best
It
games that
was.
you could play. It was one of the funnest games you could play. And then they just re-released it for Xbox, but it's $40.
It's a little steep.
A
It
little
is a
too much
little
money.
steep. It is, and they have these newer skateboarding games, Skate and all these and all those, but you have to use the right stick in order to jump and do ollies, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
Can I just get the X button, that first button to or A button just to make a jump, make it
Well,
simple.
that's what made the game so good. It was simple, but as simple as the game was, it allowed you to do so. Like the tricks you can do in that game are ridiculous, and it
Oh,
was easy to
ridiculous.
do. So, going off of this, all the news for the new Xbox is two of them were released. They're coming out in November, right before my birthday, so I have to pick one of them up. Two different ones, right? What's the price of the new Xbox? We got the Series S and then the X.
As we're looking at 299, which you're pushing that 60 to 120 frames with the 1080 to 1440p visuals. And for most people, and for $300, that is fine. That
Three
is
hundred
like,
dollars. What's the storage on there? Do you know?
that's the question. It's,
Because you're going to have to
um,
buy expandable storage, and that's where you're going to spend a lot more money. I can get the
right.
console for $299. I think it's got. I don't remember. I looked. I don't remember. I think it's half of what's in
Yes. Yeah,
the
it's like
bigger.
512 or something
Yeah,
like
I think
that.
it's five
Now,
twelve.
you got to figure this part of the machine has to take up some of that memory. This part has to take up some of that. How much memory are you going to have left after that's all used? That
Well,
is
that's
a
why you're
big
gonna have to buy
question.
more storage, and the storage for that is going to be a couple $100.
It's not going to be cheap.
So, but for somebody like me, I only play a couple games anyway.
Right. So that 299 is
Two
like
ninety
right
nine.
in that range.
That's all I'm spending.
Right. So listen, no matter what, these things are going to fly off the shelves and it's going to be a big hit seller for this
They're going to
holiday.
be sold out, and you're going to find people price gouging on eBay because they're going to sell out. Once they sell out, those prices on eBay and all those other websites like that they're going to be double, triple the price of what they're really worth.
Oh, absolutely. And they do that every generation drop. I
It's
mean,
insane.
the gouges are crazy.
Well, which one are you buying?
Listen, all right. I'm going for the 499 console. I'm going for that beast. When Xbox One X dropped, I picked that one up. I am going for the highest one. Um, I want I want as much as I can for that 499, and I want it. I want it. I want to see it on my shelf. I want to put it up on the wall. I want to pump those graphics and those frames out. I want to see how this is going to
Yeah.
be.
I do want the more expensive one, but it doesn't make sense for me to buy it.
Right. It really doesn't. And like, say you wanted Call of Duty or you wanted something and you wanted a memory card, you're dropping like $700, $800.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm think I'm going to go with the cheaper model. I don't need the big one.
Yeah, I think.
Aesthetic. Let's say, what's up, Aesthetic? How are you?
Hey, how are you?
Thanks for hanging out on a Friday night. Appreciate it. We're talking Xbox, the two new consoles that are coming out in November. And there's, both of them I think are good prices. $300 you can't beat. And the other one is what, $499?
499, and that was the price of the Xbox One OG console when it came out, and it was the price of the Xbox One X console when it came out. So for them to keep that price, like, that's really good. That is
No,
really
it's
good for
really,
what they put in that box. I'm
yeah,
curious
it's a
what
really good
PlayStation is
price.
going to do.
PlayStation has to. I think PlayStation now is going to be a little more expensive. Is it only one console for PlayStation?
No, it's two. They have a standard and they have a digital only console.
So the bottom one has to be around 300. It's going to have to compete.
Well, see, that's the thing. Um, they're saying that if they put it at 300, they're going to lose money. So what they're saying is 4 and 500 too.
It
When
doesn't matter, honestly. 400 and 500 is still a good price. Both of these consoles, especially now during the holiday season, they're going to sell out. Xbox
oh
and
yeah,
Sony, they're both going to sell out. Are you getting a PlayStation too?
I will get a PlayStation next year. Um, yeah, no, I'm going to get an Xbox this year, PlayStation next year. I'm pretty sure any of the PlayStation games that are coming out, I still play on my PlayStation 4 Pro. So, yeah, I will get a PlayStation next year, but I'm definitely getting one.
For those that are new here, flip the script. He has a new gaming channel on YouTube, so go and check that out. We're here on a Friday night, chilling, just hanging out. It's going to be a chill stream tonight. We're talking about the new Xboxes, the new PlayStations that are dropping at the end of the year, November. Now, prices for the PlayStation, there are rumors we're going to get them next week.
There is rumors that we're going to get them next week. We'll see though. There was rumors that they were supposed to drop on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, and we don't have anything. So now it's like okay, and this is how it's been going for the last 4 or 5 weeks. The rumors are like, oh, next week, next week, next week. I
Yeah.
think PlayStation was waiting for that initial Xbox drop to see how much the pricing was so they can go from there. But you know what the funny thing is? This week was the 25th week, 25 years of PlayStation. I think on Tuesday, and
Last Tuesday?
Xbox the Tuesday just passed, and Xbox dropped all their pricing on that day.
Yeah. It's
So
crazy.
it was like,
Xbox came in hard with that pricing. $299 is unreal for a
yeah,
next
it
gen
really is.
console. I paid $400 in my I don't remember how old I was. It was a long time ago. I paid $400 for my Dreamcast
Ooh,
back in the day.
yeah. Yes. Yep.
So for
Yep.
the next gen Xbox to come in at $299, I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm gonna buy it.
Do you remember how much the N64s were when it dropped? I
Back
would say
then,
like 250 or something like
250,
that.
probably around 250.
Yeah, yeah, wow. And you can imagine like tech keeps getting better and better and smaller, but the $300. It's like that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, $300 is insane, and even $499 for what you get. Now,
Hmm.
again, the price of the storage is going to be a problem for some people
Right.
because it's not a lot of storage. Even on what's the Xbox have now for storage? Standard
Uh,
storage when you just buy it.
it had a console. Mine, my OG was a 500 gigabytes.
That's what I have. I have 500, but it's terror. It doesn't last. I have like 6 games on it, and it fills it up.
It fills it up so fast, and that's why you got
So
to get the external with them. For my Xbox One X, I have a 1 terabyte, and I have a 5 terabyte external hooked up to it. And I'm at like I don't know 300 and something games, but I mean they're not all downloaded. But I have like 200 games downloaded to it. But the external is going to be like a big thing. No matter what console you get, no matter what avenue you go, external is going to be a big thing.
yeah, but it's going to be the expensive one. It's not going to be
Yeah.
your. I can't go out and buy a regular hard drive. Like I can get a 1 terabyte regular standard hard drive right now for $90. It's not going to be like that.
No, and they're saying you can't use regular externals
Nope. It's
for the
it's
newer
specific.
games.
No, it's specific for Microsoft.
Right, so everything is proprietary here.
Yeah, so that's why they're going to charge you an arm and a leg for it because you have to buy it
Whew.
from them. They're gonna go nuts.
You know what they did this week also? I don't know if you heard, but for the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is $15 a month, starting this holiday, they're also including EA Play, which was EA Access, into that package for free. You get Madden, you get all the EA Battlefields,
Free for
you
how long?
get forever. 15 EA Access is now included into uh, Xbox Game Pass starting this holiday, and
That's a
that's
good.
amazing.
Yeah, that's
That
a
is a
good
good deal.
thing.
You know, I'm not the biggest Madden player. I'm good. Actually, boy, I'm
Yo,
good.
you got beat, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. You can't call
Um,
yourself good if you lost by double digits.
I listen. Another EA game, FIFA. I don't know, AK. Where are you, Seb? I won earlier this week. I'm not going to put
Oh
that
yeah,
out there right now.
AK. We didn't send out any notifications, so AK probably doesn't even know we're streaming right now.
Yeah, yeah. He'll pop in soon. I know he will. He's a big fan of yours, and it was good. It was good to play him this week. But very intelligent guy. But for that EA access to go into that Game Pass, that's big. I mean, EA has a lot of games in their EA Access package, and for that to go into that $15 package with Game Pass, like it's really a no brainer.
Yeah. Well, we talked about both Xboxes. We talked a little bit about the PlayStation and the pricing. Now we're going to transition over. I do have a question that I want to pose to you and to the people in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk about cell phones for a little bit and the difference in cell phones that cost 300 to 400 bucks, or the Note 20 was 1,300, the Z Fold 2, $2,000, the Microsoft Surface Duo that just dropped was around, it says 13 for the 128 gigabyte, but with tax, you're spending 1,500 bucks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the iPhone that's going to come out at the end of the year is going to be for the 12 Pro Max. That'll be a $1,200, $1,300 phone. So when we get phones like the Pixel 4a, I just got the Pixel 4a yesterday, $350 phone.
Mm-hmm.
Are $1,000 phones still worth it? Are they still worth it? There's
Is it
value in them, but are they still worth it? Because I think a lot of people, this is a good argument to have. I think a lot of people are going to have different opinions about this.
well? I mean, okay, if you went to the supermarket and you wanted some peanut butter, you had Skippy for 4.49 and Peter Pan peanut butter for 3.19. Are you paying for the name brand, or are you actually paying for the texture and the taste?
Well, both of those are you gotta change that up a little bit because both of those peanut butters are basically the same thing. You need to go like,
Oh.
all right, Skippy or all natural. Am I going organic, all natural peanut butter, or am I getting Skippy?
Okay, because that organic all natural is a little sandy,
And it's
So
also about $7-8.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
is it worth it? But you're getting more there. Are you getting more value on $1,000 phone compared to a $350 phone? Is it you
Uh,
are? Obviously you are, right? But
right.
is that price difference worth it? Because for the Note 20 Ultra, I spent 1,300 bucks on it. For the Pixel 4a, I could buy 4 of them for the same price.
Mhm.
And it's a fantastic phone. The cameras are better than the Note 20 Ultra
Mhm.
on the Pixel 4a. Leonardist, what up? What's going on, man? How are you, brother?
What up? What's going on?
Yo,
Um,
Leonard, quick update. Lou did challenge somebody else this week. He played FIFA and he won. So he wants a rematch in Madden against you. He was just talking trash about Madden. So he wants a little rematch.
you know, the, why you do that? Why'd you do me like that, dude?
I got to call you out, bro. That's what we do here. We call you out. So, so Leonard said he's chilling. All right. Leonard, we're having a conversation right now about cell phones. Are $1,000 phones still worth it? Is there more value in buying a cheaper, more budget-friendly phone that still does a lot of the same things that the more expensive, quote-unquote, flagship phones give you? So I want to know what you guys in the chat think. Leonardo said, we on to Madden 21. I don't know if Lou's there yet.
No, I'm not there yet. I just dropped that 40 on Tony Hawk, and I'm trying to recuperate and play some multiplayer, get something out of it. get my money's worth.
Jason Blazowski says, hell to the no, no phone is worth that much. Well, I don't disagree with you, but there is such a difference when you use these phones. I'm using the $350 phone right now as my daily driver.
Mm-hmm.
And I've used the iPhone 11 Pro Max for probably most of the year. Mm-hmm. And then I switched over to the Note 20 Ultra, which is now, surprisingly enough, because I've always liked iPhones the best, but the Note 20 Ultra has basically won me over.
Really?
Yeah, it's a fantastic phone. It really is.
Now, how long do you think that's going to last before you go back to your iPhone? Or do you think like this one's going to last you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is because I've decided today that I'm not buying the new iPhone.
Really?
Yeah, Apple just came out and said that they're not putting 120 hertz refresh rate on a new iPhone. So for me, that's a problem. It doesn't allow me enough of a difference between the 11 Pro Max and the new phone coming out. It's basically a redesign. So it's going to have the squared edges, right? It's going to look like the iPad Pro with the squared off edges. It's going to look like the old iPhone 4s, which is great. I'm glad they did that. It's going to look fantastic. But what else are they giving you? They're giving you a LiDAR sensor. They're giving you a LiDAR sensor. I don't care about that. I don't give a shit about that. They're giving you a little better camera. They're giving you, I mean, what are they going to give? A new color. They were getting a navy color. Okay, the navy color with the new design is going to be cool.
Right.
An updated processor, an updated camera. The notch is exactly the same size. Everybody was carrying on 120 hertz. If you want to call the phone, there's a lot of discussion right now in the tech community about calling a phone a pro phone when it can't do pro things.
And that's a reasonable argument too.
And it happens all the time. Leonard says, I rarely use all those bells and whistles, text and talk for the most part. And that's so true. Most people only use their phones for, what do we use them for? We use them for social media. We use it for browsing the web, phone calls, text messages, taking pictures, right? They're basically our cameras now. They are our cameras, taking video, but that's it. That's basically 99% of the people, that's what they use it for. The bells and whistles, that's where we get the more expensive phones, right? They're giving us gimmicks. And the Note 20 Ultra does that. It has a ton of gimmicks. Like the S Pen is great, but there's a lot of things we don't need. I don't need an S Pen that allows me to take pictures by an air gesture. I don't need that crap. Give me better battery life. Give me a phone that I can use all day without having to plug it in. Because the battery life for me on the Note 20 Ultra is terrible.
Mm-hmm. Now, now you buy your phone straight out, right? You just
I do. I do buy them straight up.
And you know what? The hardcores are not going to upgrade like that. The only people who are going to upgrade are the people who have those year to 2 year upgrade paid by month in their contract type scenarios.
Well, yeah, you can go, like all the carriers do that. They allow you to buy the phone, pay monthly, and upgrade every year. So you can get a new phone every year and not spend a lot of money.
Right. But again, that's the only reason I could see for people upgrading right now to that phone then. You know, if they're not upgrading internals like they should, I don't see the hardcores.
I don't think if you have an old iPhone, it's different, right? Because there are iPhones coming out this year that are not $1,200-$1,300, right? We're getting 4 different models ranging in price from probably $600-$700 all the way up to $1,200-$1,300. So if you have an older phone and you want a new iPhone, the other phones are going to be fantastic too. Like the iPhone 11, not the Pro, just the 11 is a great phone. Before that, the iPhone XR, fantastic phone. And it still is today. And it will be for years because Apple gives 5 years of software updates. And if you want to get a new phone that's cheap, you can buy the iPhone SE.
Like I went from a 6 to an 11. That was a big jump.
That's a big jump.
That was worth it.
Yo, what's your cat's name? Smokey. You should bring Smokey bring him into the chat, bro.
Yeah, listen, that chick, she's a spunky little one.
Winner said chicks dig the gaudy phones.
And that's true. I mean, what phone do you have? I got the iPhone 12 Max Pro semiconductor. Like people are like, oh, shit, like let me check that out. Like
Mariah Christina says text to talk all the time. Yeah. That's what people use most of their phones for, right?
yeah, that's true.
All the gimmicks and all the bells and whistles that bump the price up. Now, look, a lot of this goes into build quality too, because the $350 phone is plastic, right? So plastic phones, you can't do a lot. You can't have wireless charging with a plastic phone. There are a bunch of things you can't do. The build quality on $1,000 phone, except for the new Note, the regular version, but the Note 20 Ultra is aluminum and glass. The iPhones are stainless steel and glass. So you are getting a lot better
quality build.
Yeah, you're getting water resistance. So if you drop it in water, and an IP rating on a phone costs a lot of money, which in turn bumps up the price. So there are reasons why these phones are more expensive, but when you can get something like the Pixel 4a or the iPhone SE, actually not the SE, I'm taking the SE out of the picture. I got a whole video dropping tomorrow on Digital Slang about the iPhone SE and why I think Apple needs to change that up a little bit.
Now, this iPhone 11, the one I have, is that water resistant or waterproof?
It's water resistant. It's not waterproof. It's only resistant up to a certain depth in the water for a certain amount of time. But be careful. I still wouldn't take it in the water.
Okay. All right. I was just wondering. I didn't know too much about this phone. I was starstruck when it did that home button, and I got it. I'm like, I missed my home button, man.
Yeah, but now that you use it, don't the gestures feel normal?
Yeah, now it does.
The gestures are the way to go. Like that's the way a phone should work. It is better than the home button. But at the same time, now we're stuck with Face ID. And I hate Face ID.
Yeah, I don't use listen, I use Face ID for a couple things when like my password is signing in, but for like the initial login to my phone and stuff like that, no, I turn all that off. I'm not a big fan.
Face ID doesn't work in the pandemic world we are in. It does not work with a mask, and Apple will not update it to work with a mask.
And so I get it.
I prefer a home button. Not like this, right? This old iPhone with the home button down here. It's cool, but give me more screen real estate. Give me on the back of the Pixel 4a, there's a fingerprint sensor right here on the back.
Really?
Right where your pointer finger goes. Give me that or give me an in-display fingerprint sensor. One or the other.
But get rid of the. How does that work with the case on?
Well, if you get a case for that case will have, a hole there. It's going to have like a cutout in the case for it. Leonard says high-end phones are just for status. You're not wrong. I don't buy them for status. I buy them because I love tech. It's like if you have a hobby and you love cars, you're going to go out and buy cars. If you have whatever it is, if you have a hobby, you're going to spend money on those items. And that's why I don't care about status. I could give two shits about status.
Right.
But if I'm like a kid in the candy store when it comes to technology, I see something new and shiny, I want to get my hands on it.
Yeah, that is true. Absolutely. And I get it.
You're not wrong, though. A lot of people use it for status. Look at me. And bells and whistles like that Z Fold I have coming. That was $2,000.
Man.
Like that's
you better milk that thing for what it's worth.
Yeah, but Sam, I told you last week in the stream, I only did it because Samsung is offering $1,000 trade-in for it.
Right.
When in a year, in 2 years, whenever I want to trade it in, they'll give me half my money back.
Yeah.
Or I can sell it, and make $1,500, $1,600 in a year. Like,
right.
That phone is going to hold its value for a long time. Jason Blazowski says, my iPhone 10R does everything I need. Too bad the glass back cracked. I don't wireless charge anyway. And you're right. The 10R is a great phone. And that's why, where is it at? I don't think I have it up here.
I gotta say, I love the wireless charging feature.
Yeah, it is good. Now, the 10R is a good example of a phone because the iPhone SE that just dropped, right? It looks like this. This is the 8 Plus, but the SE is basically this phone with the home button on the front. Same kind of build design, just a little smaller for $400. The problem is it already looks outdated. Right? It's got the big forehead. It's got the big chin. It's the same design on an iPhone for the past 5 years, but it's only $400. So it looks out. It's not bad, but once you go up in storage, it's $400 for 64 gigs of storage.
Okay.
If that's not enough storage, and there's not a lot of storage in today's world, once you go up to 128 gigs or 256 gigs, the price jumps to like $550 for the top end model. And at that price, it's not worth it. It's already an outdated looking phone.
Right.
How do you think that phone's going to look in 2 years?
Now, those iPhone, like say going from iPhone 8 to 10, are those going to get the same updates as the newer phones do, like the 14 update?
They are.
And will it have all the same bells and whistles with that update?
Well, the software, yes. On the Apple updates their phones for 5 years. So the iPhone 7 is on iOS 14 right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to have the bells and whistles as far as hardware. Like, it's not going to improve the camera any. You're not going to get a better processor.
Well, no, of course not. But
age over time. But Apple's hardware and software, they're so efficient. My 8 Plus still runs fantastic on iOS 14. And that's going to get updates for years to come still. About 2 years left of updates on that phone. It's crazy. Andreas says that Apple should do that, correct? And the Apple symbol should be the sensor. Hell yes. Hell yes, I agree. So he's talking about the logo on the back should be the fingerprint sensor.
That's an interesting take. I haven't thought about that one.
People have been asking for that for years because of the notch. They don't do it, I guess, because they just want their branding on the back of the phone. That's what they've been doing, since iPhones came out. But if they can get rid of the notch, I'm all for it. Give me that fingerprint sensor on the back. More screen real estate for me. Look at the screen on the Pixel 4a.
Now, why do you think iPhone has that big notch?
It's for all of the sensors underneath the notch. That's why we have Face ID. That's where Face ID is.
Okay.
So unless they get rid of Face ID or find another way to implement it, like under the glass, but you can use that with something like this, like on the front-facing camera. You can make it a smaller notch if you really wanted to.
I'm surprised they haven't done it. I mean, a lot of people do not like those notches. So you would think they would eliminate all these little things in order to be more consumer friendly and sell more phones.
It's a big disappointment this year that the notch is the same size. Between that and the no 120 hertz refresh rate on the new iPhones, it's a lot of people go on Twitter. I mean, people are talking about it. Go on Reddit. People are talking about it, and a lot of people, even in the tech community on YouTube, are not going to upgrade now to the new iPhone. The Apple logo should work like the Pixel. Yeah, it should. It should be exactly like the fingerprint sensor right here on the back. Or give me an in-display fingerprint sensor. The Note 20 Ultra, it's in the screen, in the display, and it works great. Now, that technology does have to be improved a little bit for it to work, I guess, up to Apple's standards. Because, look, I will give Apple credit for one thing. They are not leading in innovation anymore, but what they do well, when they drop something, whether it's a phone or a piece of technology or a piece of software, it is perfect.
Yeah, and Jeff, they're consistent with it too.
It runs perfectly, so smooth all the time. No matter what it is, It just works. And I wish they would be a little more innovative and like take a little bit more of a risk, because that's what Samsung does. They come out and that's why we get all these gimmicks on their phones. They're taking a risk, right? They're not sitting back and watching how technology evolves and then perfecting it like Apple is. They're going out, they're taking a risk. And I wish Apple would do that a little bit more. I want to see a little bit more of a risk from Apple. Put yourselves out there a little bit. They don't always have to be so perfect, but they also are the first $2 trillion company because of it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they're consistent with, products, and everybody knows who they are. But if you're saying this new phone is just a design change, are they doing anything different with the screen? Like the type of screen, or is it just the same screen as the
Same
11?
screen. Same OLED screen. The screen's going to be great.
Well,
Look,
yeah,
Samsung makes Apple's screens.
really.
Yeah, and Samsung has the best screens in the business. The Note 20 Ultra is the best screen I've ever seen on any phone, hands down. Not even close. It's amazing, that screen. But yeah, the screen's going to look great. But from the front, it's going to look, like the 11 Pro Max with the notch. It's going to look exactly the same for the front. Now, if you look from the side, it's going to have the redesign, which is cool. But it's not worth the upgrade unless you're coming from an older phone.
Right now, so go ahead.
He says many cases have a hole where the logo is anyway. And you're right. A lot of cases do, even a lot of cases for iPhones.
Yeah, a lot of cases for iPhones because they want to show off that logo.
They want to show the logo. So throw a fingerprint sensor there. I mean, hold your phone, grab your phone right now and just put your pointer finger in that spot. It's natural for it to be there. So it's the perfect spot for it. Get rid of that damn notch, man. I'm tired of that notch. Next year, hopefully next year. There were rumors this year that it would be smaller, and then that was squashed a couple weeks ago. Hopefully next year they'll get rid of the notch because it's played out. It doesn't look good anymore. And other companies are showing you what you can get a lot cheaper.
Yeah, and that it can be done. And yeah. I mean, I agree fully.
Pooh says, make that the sensor already come on Apple. Yeah, Apple, get with the times, man. Stop waiting. Like, we need you to do that. We need it. The new Apple SE's bezel is really old looking. Yeah, it is. It's outdated. But that's what Apple did to compete in the mid-range market. They had to do something. You got OnePlus coming out with the Nord for around $450, $500. The Pixel 4a is blowing up at $350. So Apple did something. What they did, I commend them for. They gave us a brand new iPhone for $400. Now, again, once you go up in storage, it's not worth it anymore. I would go into the used market before I go up in storage on that phone. But Pooh's brought up before the iPhone XR. And that's what Apple needs to do next. If they want to continue to compete in this mid-range market, they need to take that XR, update it with all the internals, and make that next year's $400 mid-range phone.
I agree.
That would kill it. That would do really well. Apple Glass is risky. Yeah, anytime something new comes out, that's a first generation model, and we have a lot of examples of this, it's a risk. It might be cool to have.
Listen, I saw those Google glasses, like the whole presentation, and we didn't even know it was just a video of the person walking down the street with them. You're like, ba-doop, 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 maps pulling up, and I was like, that's like augmented reality. Like that's pretty cool.
But what could you do with it? Like, what are you really gonna do with it? Now the glasses, they're gonna be cool.
Like a dork in CVS.
Yeah, you could spy on people. I mean, watch a video while you're walking, but I mean that's kind of dangerous. Like that. Now, Apple glasses, they're probably going to be cool, but obviously the second gen is going to be better than the first. There's
Of
going to be
course.
problems. Look at the Galaxy Fold, the first gen. A lot of problems with that. The Microsoft Duo that just dropped. There are already rumors about the second gen. The second gen for that is going to blow that thing away. And there's
Of
already
course.
software issues with that.
But it's just it's a cool idea, but it kind of seems like it's just a niche
It
item,
is.
you know?
It depends what software they put into it,
Right.
right? If it allows me to, I don't know. I told you I want a Tony Stark shit,
Yeah.
right? I want
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
hologram. I want to be able to communicate. I want to call my friend and have her pop up on my iPhone
Hmm.
and talk to her through my. If I
Right.
have to wear the glasses to see that, I'm down for that. That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That is. Yeah.
Number 9, what's going on? Guys, thank you for joining us. Happy Friday. Weekend is here. If you guys can go and hit that like button, it would be much appreciated. YouTube's algorithm always does better with videos if you hit that like button. Number 9 says, I'm good with the iPhone 11. Yeah, I'm sticking with the iPhone 11 Pro Max too. iPhone's 11, a great phone. It's going to be a great phone for another 4 or 5 years. Easy.
Yeah, I love it. I do. I love it.
Even the 10R and the 10 and the 8 Plus, they're still getting software updates for at least. I mean, the iPhone 10 is still going to get 2 years of updates.
Hmm.
So these phones, they're going to be good for a while. Lens of Wisdom, what's going on? Apple is good. It's just their notch looks old like the iPhone 10. Yeah, it's true. Look, I love iPhones. We all do. We all have them,
Hmm.
right? Because they just work. They're very clean. They're simple to use. And they just work like they're supposed to. They do everything well.
And I love FaceTime. Like I FaceTime my father, I FaceTime my cousins, who are in Florida and North Jersey all the time. It's I don't know. Does the Android phones have a FaceTime like app or have their own thing?
Yeah, they
They
do.
do?
They have like Duo. You can go on and have video chats on Duo. They all have their own version. The one thing
Hmm.
that iPhone has is iMessage. Look, the Apple ecosystem,
I
the
like
whole ecosystem,
iMessage.
once you get into the Apple ecosystem, it's really hard to get out because everything just works so well together. It's a little harder on Android. And that's one of the main reasons I've stuck with Apple so long is because of the ecosystem. Look, when I have iMessage and I send like Mariah a video,
Excuse me.
salute,
Thank
and
you.
I send
Gracias.
Mariah a video of the dogs or something, it
Hmm.
comes, she gets it and it's perfect. It's clean, it's to size, but you can't do that from iPhone to Android.
Really?
If you send me a video on your iPhone
Hmm.
to my Android device, the
Hmm.
quality is terrible. Like it
Really?
downsizes it and the quality it's actually blurry. You can barely see it.
You know what? That explains it because when I took that airsoft video, I sent that to my brother-in-law who has an Android phone, and
Yeah.
he was saying something like that, like it was coming out distorted or
Yeah,
it
it comes
wasn't
out
coming out
terrible.
right.
That's if you send it through like your regular text message. Now
And yeah, and that's what I did.
there are apps like WhatsApp. You know WhatsApp?
Yeah.
WhatsApp is kind of a big app. If you send a video from your iPhone to an Android device in WhatsApp, it comes out normal size.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
there are ways to do it, but if you just send a regular text message, it's going to come out blurry. Now, pictures are fine. You can send pictures from device to device fine, Android to Apple, and it works out. But
Hmm.
yeah, some things just don't work out, man. It's terrible.
Wow.
What's going on,
Wow.
Jeffrey? I have an iPhone 10 and I'm getting ready to upgrade. Are you telling me not to go for the 12 when it comes out? No, if I had the iPhone 10, I would upgrade. The
Hmm.
iPhone 10 will still get software updates for about 2 years, but after that, it's going to start to be a problem.
But
The
you think
iPhone,
from 11 to 12 is really not worth it?
do you have the iPhone 10 or do you have the 10s?
Is
Because
that
there
a
is a difference.
difference?
The 10s, last year was the iPhone 11. Before that, the year before was the 10s, 10s Max, and before that was the iPhone 10.
Hmm.
So if you had the 10s Max, I probably still wouldn't upgrade. But if you have the
Hmm.
10, the regular iPhone 10, I might upgrade to the 12 at that point
That's
because
interesting.
it will be a redesign and everything. And the iPhone 10, I have an iPhone 10 and it doesn't work anymore.
Really?
Yeah. But the iPhone 12, look, it's going to be a great phone. But I'm telling you right now, if you have an iPhone 11, do not upgrade. Don't do it. Even the 10S and the 10S Max, probably not worth the upgrade.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's true,
Because I
man.
know my wife was talking about it because she's the upgrade junkie. Like every new thing, every phone, she has to get it, has to get it, has to get it. So that's a good point. Now I don't have to. I can spend money on a Giants jersey for Christmas and not an iPhone.
Get your Xbox and your PlayStation.
Yeah,
Who's wants
she's
to know
buying me that Xbox.
where did the 10R fall in that timeline? The 10R came out with the 10S and the 10S Max. So the 10R is 2 years old at this point. So I would keep that. I would keep that for another year at least, because I guarantee you the iPhone 13 or whatever it's going to be called, we're going to get some type of maybe no notch or definitely a smaller notch. There was supposed to be a smaller notch this year. So
Hmm.
next year is probably the way to go. I mean, I'm going to probably upgrade next year. I want an iPhone with no notch. I just do. I'm
Do you,
tired of the notch. I'm tired
do
of
you think
looking at
it's
it.
going to be a 13 or they're going to do something, you
No, I think
know?
it's going to be a 13. There's already
Yeah.
rumors talking about it, but there were rumors this year about it too. And up to about 3 weeks ago, people were saying that the notch was going to be a lot smaller this year.
Hmm.
And then rumors just dropped that it's the same size. Now the phone, on the iPhone 12, the new one that's coming out, the bezels are going to be smaller along the edges of the phone. So they're saying the notch looks smaller. Even though it's the
Mm.
same size, we're getting more screen real estate, so the notch looks a little smaller, but it's exactly the same size.
So a little bit of eye trickery there.
Yeah, it might look a little better, but it's still that big ass notch, and I'm tired of it. Tired of it. And what's the difference between the 10 and the R? The 10 was the flagship model from the year before. The R was kind of like the baby brother to the 10S and the 10S Max. So the R,
Oh, he's below. He means the S and the R.
the S has the S and the R. The S has better specs all around, like better camera. It's got an extra lens. I think it was a wide angle lens on the 10S. So just better specs, same processor, but better camera, little things like that, build and quality and design wise, stainless steel and glass compared to the 10R being, I forget what it was. I think what was the 10R?
Polycarbonate plastic.
No, 10R is not plastic. 10R had a good build to it, but I think it was aluminum and glass instead of stainless steel and glass. So
Aluminum's not bad.
no, they still feel all of Apple's older phones were made from aluminum and they felt great.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yellow Bird YT, what's up? Thanks for joining us. Happy Friday, guys. The weekend is here. We're going to open up the SlangCast Live phone calls in a little bit. Now, I did switch over to a new phone, so I'm not sure if it's going to work, but we're going to try it anyway. So if somebody wants to call in, you can call in.
Yeah, let's try it. Let's get some calls in. Hey, Lens of Wisdom, I think you won the headphones a couple weeks ago. Give us a call.
He did when he didn't get them yet, though. I just talked to him yesterday.
Oh, really?
Oh, he's in Canada. I mean, I think that the tracking said we checked yesterday. Tracking was I don't remember. Still
Stuck at
like a week or two
customs.
away. It's in Canada. It's going to take a while to get there.
Yeah, it'll take a minute.
Lou, you said you have the iPhone 11, right?
Yes, I got an iPhone 11.
Would you
Yep.
guys in the chat, everybody in the chat, would you guys be happy with a plastic phone that only cost $350? That had phone, it feels plastic, right? But it has the screen looks like this,
Hmm.
right? So basically, full OLED screen, just a little hole punch cut out in the top for the front facing camera. It's only $350. Fingerprint sensor on the back. The camera on here, just as good, if not better, than any iPhone, even the $1,000 iPhones.
Mm-hmm.
But a mid-range processor, so it's a little slower than some of these phones, right? It's not the best processor. You're not going to be able to play games on it. You can some games, but any games that take up a lot of RAM or anything
Space
like
and
that.
RAM, yeah.
Yeah. But it comes with 6 gigs of RAM. It comes with 128 gigs of storage. Would you guys be happy with that? $350.
Yeah, $350. I mean, that sounds like a steal.
And that's why this phone is blowing up. See, Leonard says, this is the problem. Leonard says, nah, I need that cold steel.
Nice pun.
Some people, yeah, I understand. You take this phone, right? You hold this Note 20.
Mm-hmm.
Just holding it, you know you're holding something that is really good build quality. It feels very expensive when you're holding it.
Mm-hmm.
I hold this Pixel 4a. Okay. Feels good, good size, but it's plastic. I'm not even going to throw a case on it. I don't need a case on it. It's a cheaper phone. I feel more confident. I feel more confident rocking it without a case. If I drop it, I'm not going to care.
Right. Now, do you feel the weight difference?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But here's the problem. There's $1,000 plastic phones out there.
Yeah. I mean, $1,000 for a plastic phone—that's insane.
The Note 20, not the Ultra that I have, but the regular Note 20 that still has a lot of the features of this phone is plastic. And it feels cheap. I played with it today in Best Buy, and it feels cheap.
Now, what do you think if they took the iPhone 11, made plastic? You think they'll lower that price to $300?
Yeah, but Apple won't go plastic. They'll do aluminum before they do plastic.
Now, what was the 5 or the 5C? Was that plastic or is that? And after that, they just got away with it.
The 5C was plastic, I'm pretty sure.
And after that, they were just like, cut it out.
got
Now
it.
the SE is aluminum also?
Yeah, the SE is glass and aluminum.
Wow, okay.
The SE feels like a premium device. It does.
Right.
It looks outdated.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the big forehead. It looks like this. It's got the huge forehead and the huge chin on the bottom with the home button.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks outdated. And even though it's got all the new internals, it's going to look outdated for forever at this point. It's going to look outdated here till tomorrow. Like, it's a shame because Apple needs to do something next year to keep the competition in the mid-range market. So I need like an iPhone XR with updated internals for $400. That phone right there would sell like crazy.
They should do that during the off season like they do with the SE. And then,
Well, they're going to have to every year because they're in it now. Every year they're going to have to come out with a new mid-range phone. They're not just going to leave it as the iPhone SE2 and call it a day. Next year, we're going to get another mid-range phone from Apple, but it can't be the same design. It can't. It can't be. It's already outdated. So they're going to have to come up with something. I think they're going to give us something like the iPhone 10. I'm calling it right now. It's going to look like the iPhone XR, updated internals, one lens on the back for the camera. It's going to be around $450.
do you think they're going to see those drop in sales when the 12 comes out, or do you think they're going to see that beginning rush?
Nah, there's people still excited about it because of the redesign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The square design was the best iPhone ever made.
Right.
And the fact that
like the 4, right?
People are excited. Yeah, the 4, the 4S, the 5, the 5S, they all had that square design. And the first iPhone SE had it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I love it. I was excited about it when I heard it. But if that's all I'm getting, There's no reason to upgrade.
Now,
Who
will you
says
get it for review?
look, the YouTuber in me wants it to review. I want
Right.
it to review, but I'm not going to pre-order it. Whether I get it later on from like trading something for it,
Uh-huh.
I might trade for it down the line. Maybe I'll trade a phone or two for it, but I'm not going to go out and spend $1,200. Now, you know what I am interested in though?
Hmm.
The little guy, the little iPhone. There's a little guy coming out this year.
Really?
5.4 inches. Tiny little phone. And it's got the notch. So it's basically all screen except for the notch, but it's only 5.4 inches.
Now, what's the size of this 11?
Your 11 is 6.1 inch.
Wow, then that 5 is going to be small, huh?
Yeah. I think that's a size 5.4 inch. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of excited about that. A redesigned
Yeah.
phone it's going to fit in the palm of your hand. It's going to be a little bigger than the iPhone 4,
Hmm.
but with basically all screen except for the notch. So I'm kind of intrigued by that just to have a toy to play with.
That's interesting. Like, I want to see that now.
So yeah, there's 4 models. There's the 5.4, 2.2, 6.1 inches. One's a pro version, one's a regular version, and then the big boy, the 6.7. Who says now give me that iOS in plastic? And I'm in. I don't think we'll ever see that. I don't think we'll ever see another plastic iPhone because the iPhone 5C tanked. It was terrible. Does it matter if it feels cheap? As long as it does everything you want, make that phone out of used bubble gum don't matter to me. All right. That's a good point, but plastic phone for $350 does everything. Plastic phone for $1,000 feels cheap. Does a little more.
I tell you what,
Wouldn't you be upset if you bought $1,000 plastic phone?
yeah. I mean,
Like
it would feel like,
with all the options out there, there's no reason to ever buy that phone.
I mean, you could look at all the bells and whistles, but it doesn't feel like a premium phone.
But there's other phones out there that can do what that does with a better. Like I would buy last year's Note before I bought that. Like I would buy the Note 10 Plus before I went out and bought the plastic Note 20.
Right, right.
But the reason people are eating this phone up and don't care that it's plastic is strictly because of the price.
Mm-hmm.
It's only $350. They don't care what it's made out of.
And
you're right. It can be made out of bubble gum. It's great. A little slower. Again, mid-range processor, but nobody cares because it's $350.
Right.
But you put that processor in a more expensive phone, we have problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So people like different things though. It's so hard to know because everybody's on the opposite side of the fence, right? We have people defending both sides. I would never, ever, ever buy $1,000 plastic phone. I don't care what it did or how well it worked. If it's plastic, it's not worth $1,000.
What if it had the Iron Man hologram? And listen, how not $2,000 plastic phone with the Iron Man hologram.
Why are you going to go there, bro?
I had to do it.
It depends how well it works. It depends how well it worked.
Okay. What if you can wong it? Like wong and
Lens of Wisdom
Iron
say,
Man.
yep, I would.
Yeah.
If it can give me the holographic thing, I might buy it. I might buy it. At that price, look, if they're making a phone that does that, it's not going to be made out of plastic.
But what if it was polyester carbonate plastic?
Polycarbonate.
Polycarbonate, yeah.
If it did the hologram thing and it worked perfectly, I would do it.
Okay.
If I got a phone call from somebody, right? If I got a phone call from somebody and I was able to lay my phone like this and pull them up and have their body here, and I could talk to them and interact with them, and then when I want to hang up the phone, I could slap them away, I'm all in.
What if it was just like Star Wars glitchy, like you?
As long as it worked well, I'm okay with that. Like when Princess Leia popped up.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that, bro. If it worked well and I was able to have a communication with her, it's like I was on the phone. It just has to sound like I'm on the phone.
General Kenobi, you served my
How
father
cool
in the Clone Wars.
How cool would that be? I'm all in.
That's great.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen eventually. I don't know if I'll be alive to see it, but it's going to happen.
Oh, man. That would be cool, though. Yeah. But $1,000 for a plastic phone, that's...
It would have to be the second gen. Because the first gen's going to have issues. Look at the Microsoft Duo that just came out. We've talked about this over the last few weeks. It was just released. So last week, all of the big YouTubers received a Microsoft Duo to review. But if you watch their videos, none of them, not one of them, were allowed to turn it on.
Really?
So in all their videos, they're just kind of showing you what it looks like, telling you the specs, things like that. But none of them were allowed to turn it on. Now, it just was released to the public this week. So now their updated videos with them, like with a real review, have just come out.
Really? They had an embargo on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of software issues with it. So here's the thing with this. It costs $1,300 before tax. So with tax, you're spending $1,500. There's already software issues. This thing was announced last year. So it has last year's specs on it. As far as the processor, all the internals are last year's models. Last year's flagship specs are in this year's phone.
Like, why are they having so many issues with that?
I don't know. They had plenty of time to get it right, but for whatever reason. But again, it's the first gen it's the first one, right? Like anything. The first Galaxy Fold had a lot of issues. Like the first gen of most things tech, unfortunately, have issues. And then they work them out, and the second gen is always 10 times better.
Right. That's always how it is. Yep.
But would you
can see like a lot of refurbished items run better than the originals.
Look, I love refurbs and I love the used market. Like I'm all about buying a phone in the used market. You just have to know where to look and you have to be patient. My Pixel 4a, it's sold out everywhere. I bought this thing on Facebook for $300. Brand new, it's $350. I got it for $300. Brand new, still sealed.
And in my work industry, I deal with a lot of circuit boards. Okay, and I always offer new, refurb, and repair. And 90% of the customers go with the refurb. Number one, because of the price. Number two, because of the quality of that refurb repair and the warranty, which is usually 2 years. Everybody goes for the refurbs. Refurbs are like
really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazon. If you guys want a good phone, like a used phone, you can go on Amazon. Amazon has their renewed program where it's all used phones, and they always have good deals on there. I don't use it. I go to eBay or Facebook Marketplace because I know where to look. I know what to look for when I'm looking at the seller. I've been buying this stuff for 10 years. I've never had one issue. And Facebook Marketplace, I'm not too worried about that because you're going to meet the person. As long as you know what to look for when they hand you the phone, you're good. If you don't know what to look for, I probably wouldn't go that route. But
yeah, if you use common sense.
Yeah, but you have to know what you're looking for. Somebody can hand you a phone that looks great, but if you don't go in, turn it on, and check it out, it might be an issue when you take it home. Boo says the only way I'm spending $1K on a phone is if it's made out of adamantium.
Okay, Logan.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be cool.
I mean, they do have phones out there that have. I mean, watch like Unbox Therapy or Mr. Who's the Boss. They always get these crazy phones that are like wrapped in solid gold or silver or whatever, chromed out, something diamonds on it. Like these phones cost like $15,000.
Did you see that solid gold and platinum PlayStation 5?
How much was that?
Oh my God. I'll look it up, but it was unbelievable. It was like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we're going to open up the SlangCast. The lines are open now. Again, I just changed phones today, so I had to update Google Voice. Whether it works or not, I don't know. So if anybody wants to call in, feel free to call in, but I'm not going to guarantee you that it's working. But we can try it out if somebody wants to call and BS with us for a little bit.
Yeah, give us a ring. Give us a call here. Say hello.
If it works. So we need a rematch, right? We're going to talk Madden for a minute here because we need a rematch with Leonard and Lou. Now, Lou did play someone else from the chat. He's not here tonight. His name is AK, and he did play him last week in FIFA.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
he
I
actually
won 1-0.
He actually won. So I will give you props for that. But until you beat Leonard,
Oh man, you're asking me to play somebody who lives and breathes Madden. That's tough, but I can do it because he was sweating in the beginning, and I can make him sweat. Keep on sweating.
he was sweating pretty bad, no doubt about it. Now,
He
again,
was.
Lou here, he does have a YouTube channel, and let me see if I can find it.
I did put in the chat before.
Yeah, put it in the chat once again.
Yep. Oh, and 24 karat gold PlayStation 5.
Len said $9,000
$10,421.
for a PlayStation 5. Who the hell would buy that?
Dude, you have to be a crazy collector for that.
Could never buy something like that. That's insane.
Me neither.
Do anything different. So yeah, Flip the
no.
Script Gaming. He does have a YouTube channel, brand new channel. And the reason I'm bringing this up again is because next week here on the show, I'm going to start and I'm going to introduce a new segment to the show where every week, hopefully every week, I'm going to have something called Creator Spotlight. And it is for other YouTubers that have a YouTube channel. They can come on, tell us about them, tell us about their channel, what they do on their channel. It doesn't necessarily have to be tech related. I just want to kind of give creators a spotlight and a platform to, get a little shine, get noticed a little bit. Now, this channel, again, this was my original channel that was hacked in December and I lost it. So I'm trying to start this channel up again. So not a lot of traction on here yet, but as we get going, it will gain some momentum a little bit and we'll get more viewers in here and we'll work it out. So I want to have a spot where YouTubers and anybody, if you are on social media in any way and you just want to come hang and introduce yourself, you are free to do it here. So next Friday night, we're going to have the first guy joining us for Creator Spotlight. So it'll be a little segment. He'll probably hang with us for probably the whole show. And we'll do that every week, hopefully every week. And again, I do want to do the streams a little bit more often, like every Friday night for sure at 9:00, but maybe twice a week moving forward if we can fit it in with everybody's schedule.
That'll be cool.
So Leonard said he was just showing showmanship, gave you the feeling you had a chance just so you would up the stakes.
Well, I don't think that was it. You had a towel over your shoulder to wipe off the sweat and the nerves. And I get it. But next time, I'm going to stick to that first 2-quarter game plan. I went off the game plan. I'm going to stick with that game plan. You couldn't stop the the crosses and the outs. You were nervous, and I get it. I get it. It's what happens.
For those that
But
don't know, Lou was winning. And then he paused the game. He stopped the game and started talking trash. He literally stopped the game, made sure Leonard was listening, and started talking trash. And what did Leonard say when you did that? He said, I'm going to win by double digits.
Yep. Yes, he
And
did.
then you went ahead and you missed a field goal.
Yep. Yes, I did.
And I don't think you scored again. I don't think you scored again after that.
Well, this is what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to sign up for the EA Access for PlayStation free month, and I'll get 10 hours of Madden 21, and I think we can make something happen.
Well, the challenge,
because I'm sure I could beat you in an hour or less within those 10-hour period. That's what I do.
You're going to beat him. If you beat him, you're going to beat him in an hour or less. The game's only going to take like 40 minutes.
I know, but I'm talking about 21-0 before halftime shutout. That's what I'm talking about.
He's talking trash.
Yeah, I know. I better stop now.
So Leonard says, all great coaches wear the towel. Yeah, Leonard, I do have to come at you a little bit, Leonard. You were sweating real bad. We were watching you in the stream.
Yeah, we saw you turn up the ceiling fan up a little bit, get the air circulation.
I'll show some highlights of it. But he did come back. He did say he was going to come back and beat you by double digits, and he did. So more props to you there.
He did. No excuses.
Lou, I have beaten Leonard before in Madden.
What?
Yeah. I used to play in the league with him years ago. And I put a whipping on him one day. He beat me as well. Like, we beat each other. But I did beat him. Just saying. Not rubbing it in. Just saying.
Okay. All right.
He says, sounds good. So rematch. We'll set up the rematch. But, yeah, so next week on the show, Creator Spotlight. I'm going to try and get some YouTubers on. And a lot of the channels on here, they kind of only bring bigger creators on here, right? They want the big creators, the famous creators. Man, I don't care who you are. If you have a YouTube channel and you want to come hang. I don't care if you got 1 subscriber or 10,000. I really don't care.
That's really good. You're giving the little people the spotlight and to promote their stuff. So that's really cool.
Bro, it takes a lot of work to do this. A lot of work. And I've had to do it twice since my channel was hacked and stolen. I started all over from zero in January of this year again.
I remember, and you built that up. And actually, that's what when me and AK were playing FIFA, that's what he was talking about. He said I was following him before his channel got hacked, and he was saying the same thing. I watched him build that back up. You have a good support.
That channel actually passed. This channel here has 5,000 something subs. That channel passed this channel today.
By the way, Madden 21 is with glitches. Really?
He said no air conditions. They'll fix that. They'll patch that with software updates.
Yeah. But I did see one video that one of the stadiums up on top had the Madden promo banner on it, and it said Madden 20 on it. So they didn't update the banners on the stadiums. I was like, wow, something so simple.
Speaking of Madden, football season is back. I'm excited about that, even though it's going to be a little different this year because of COVID. It did start last night, so I am very excited about that.
Yep, and the wife just made her team for she's in 2 fantasy football leagues, $100 buy-in, and yeah. So I'm hoping she wins some money for us that goes to my Xbox.
So we're going to start winding down. It's Friday night. Usually these are going to run between an hour and an hour and a half. We have been live now for about an hour and 15 minutes. So we're going to start winding down. We talked about the new Xbox, both versions of it, dropping in November. $299 for the Xbox Series, what is it, S?
S and X.
S and X. The Series S is all I need, $299, cheaper than my Sega Saturn.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm all about
All
it. We
about it.
talked
We're gonna
about
have some fun.
budget phones compared to expensive phones, $1,000 versus $350, and some of the problems you run into when you go either way. And we just talked about a little trash talk. Now, for those that were not here in the beginning of the stream, Lou talked about a game that he just purchased on his Xbox that he's not very happy with. So if you want to just run by that real quick again before we end the stream, tell everybody what game you bought.
Yeah, and this is Pooh's too, because he'll be interested. Tony Hawk, the remake. It looks good. It feels good. It runs good. But the single player is little. It's boring. Listen. Back then, when this game come out, when did this game come out? During what system, Jeff? Was it
Tony
when?
Hawk?
Yeah, what year did this original one come out?
Oh man, that's too far back for me, bro. The
Um,
original Tony Hawk was it Nintendo 64?
I believe PlayStation 1, yep, and 64. So you didn't have multiplayer back then, okay? So that's all you really had was the single player. Those single player levels and everything kept you going. The single player, I played a couple levels and it was like, all right, that's cool, but $40. And then I played the multiplayer, and the multiplayer was actually fun. Fun, but not worth $40. 29.99, I can see, but not 39.99. It's just that's Activision highway robbery. And I know maybe Tony Hawk trying to get a couple dollars in, Activision trying to get a couple dollars, but $40 is definitely not worth it. 29.99 is it should be the set price for this game, even though it's Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remake. Like I said, it looks good, it runs good, but I think multiplayer is where it's at for this game. That's making me want to upgrade and unlock the boards and unlock different outfits and everything. Not the single player. Single player is like, okay, I did a few. I would put single player in like as a tutorial mode. You're gonna play it, you're gonna do those few things, but then you're really gonna get bored of it. Like right now, I'm thinking about when I'm going to get into the multiplayer because I want to get into some graffiti attack. That was a badass mode. You have 8 different guys going after different ramps and railings, matching them to a certain color, and whoever gets the most colors wins. Like, and like you would have to do a rail and land it in order to get that color. And I think that was really cool. The combo attacks and all. Multiplayer is really cool. Single player is getting a little old, but 39.99 is a little high. I have to say, a little high for
So
me.
Tony Hawk, a little nostalgia there for some of us that played it back in the day, but a little too pricey for me. I think I'll pass on it. But to answer your question, Poos, yes, COD tonight, going down Warzone in about 5-10 minutes. We're going to end stream here.
Yep.
Guys, hit that like button if you can. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Check out Lou's channel, Flip the Script on YouTube. Again, next Friday, we will be starting something new here, Creator Spotlight series, where I introduce new creators to everybody. So you guys will have more people to watch if you end up liking them. So we'll check that out. We'll see how it goes. But that's it for the stream, guys. I hope everyone has a great weekend. And I'll be back soon. Please check out Digital Slang. All my unboxings and reviews are on that channel. And I do have a bunch of new podcast style videos here that are not live streams on SlangCast. So check that out if you haven't checked those out yet. But that's it. Enjoy your weekend, Lou. Thanks for joining again.
Thank you, sir, and thank you everybody for coming again. It's been another fun Friday night. Thank you guys for coming in and hanging with us. You guys probably haven't, just be spending with the wives and the girlfriends, but you're in here with your earbud in your ear, listening to us and watching us instead. That's awesome.
Peace, guys.